welcome back to another One Piece episode review. Today we are going to be looking at episode number 1116, and it's titled Let's Go Get It, Buggy's Big Declaration. Or, yes, it is Declaration. Alright, so we start off this war-ridden island, been through some battles, everything's dark, gloomy, and we see T-Bone. He is trying to save someone, but as he's trying to save someone, he gets killed by a civilian. And the reason why the civilian killed him is because he needs money, and T-Bone has had a wanted poster for him from the Cross Guild, because the Cross Guild now is handing out wanted posters so pirates can actually go after it. The Navy just has the Navy put wanted posters on the pirates. So it's kind of like, a double sword now. Buggy's making it he's switching the whole thing around. He's making it fair, I guess, in a way. Because now it's not just pirates that have bounty on them, it's also the Navy. Anyways, we see that T-Bone's death is supposedly confirmed within the newspaper, because Sengoku and Zero, when they're at the Navy base, they are reading the newspaper and see his death right on the front paper. Although we don't really know for sure if T-Bone really is dead. I mean, you think a Vice Admiral will be strong enough to fight off against a civilian, or at least sense a civilian coming towards him. But who knows, because, Big News Morgan always lies, or not lies, but kind of manipulates the news in a way where it will draw a loss of attention, because media, he wants some money, he wants the attention, he wants the media, and so he's probably gonna stretch the story, or at least make lies about something that did not happen. We also find out at the Navy headquarters base, well, we don't find out, Sengoku finds out that Garp has went to go save Kobe, who is on Blackbeard's island, and he also finds out that Garp could be a member of SWORD, which he is, which is kind of surprising for Sengoku, because he's like, how could you be so stupid? How could you be so foolish? You were a hero, now you could be losing your whole reputation, which is crazy to think about. And it's just, there's a lot going on, honestly, with Garp fighting the whole Blackbeard crew, and the fight's insane. It's kind of crazy to see, and it's also very entertaining. It's very nice to see the fight. But anyways, yeah, Sengoku is learning about this, and that's all we really get from Navy headquarters. We then move on to Cross Guild, which is where most of the episode takes place. It's a big highlight on the Cross Guild area for this episode, and we see the shadow figure, the man who supposedly killed T-Bone. He is in front of Buggy, as Buggy's standing up in this giant podium overlooking his whole crew, and everybody's cheering Buggy. It's like, oh, you're so great, Buggy, you're so amazing. And it's also kind of funny how they're like, good job, man. They're telling the guy who just killed the Vice Admiral, good job, like, you did work for Buggy, isn't it? Don't you feel great? And this poor guy, he's like, he didn't want to kill the Admiral, obviously, the Vice Admiral, obviously, because he's crying, he feels guilty, but he's like, at least my family has some money, because that's all he really did it for. He did it for the money, and Buggy supplied him with that money. But since he killed the Vice Admiral, he has really no place to go, and he's like, so Buggy's like, how about you join my crew, become a pirate? And he doesn't want to become a pirate, he's just some dude. He's just some dude for his family, trying to get money, trying to be a sacrifice. But he has nowhere else to go, and all the crew are like, oh my gosh, I'd be so honored to be offered to join Buggy's crew, because everybody loves Buggy for some reason. I like Buggy, he's pretty funny, but his crew takes it to a whole nother level. So Buggy's crew is just cheering him on like usual, like, Buggy, you're so great. And Buggy's gloating, he's happy, he's like, yes, my dreams are coming true. Even though none of it's real, none of it is, he has no power, he's secretly hiding the fact that Crocodile and Mihawk are basically sparing his life. And it's really funny as well. And as they're chanting out Buggy, some guy is like Barley Sama, and Barley is a cereal, and so Buggy's like, I'm not cereal, and the guy that said Barley is like, your ship's ready. So Buggy just completely ignores the fact that he just got called cereal, which is kind of funny, and so he gets a bunch of his crews, and they're like, yes, this is awesome. I can't wait to see the ship. This is going to be amazing. I had great shipwrights. And he even gets Crocodile Mihawk. He's like so confident in this great ship. And he's like, they're going to love it. They're going to praise me. And so he's walking to the ship, and he sees his eyes just pop out, jaw dropped. He is so scared because he just sees a giant ship that's clown themed, and his head is like the face of the ship. So he can automatically feel the anger between Crocodile and Mihawk right behind him, as they're like, there is no way I'm going to be sailing on this ship. There is no way that I'm going to be sailing on a ship with a giant clown as the face of it. They already are set that they're in the background of the cross skill and how Buggy's the face, but they're like, there's no way I am going to ride this ship. This is embarrassing for them, and it's also just stupid because they know how weak Buggy is. They know how like dumb he is, and he's just all talk. But yeah, it's really funny to see that. After all that commotion with the ship, Crocodile and Mihawk are like, let's go have a meeting. And by that means let's go beat the crap out of Buggy and talk about what we're going to do next, how we're going to make up for his giant, stupid mistake that he just made. And so Buggy's basically getting tortured, since he has to chop fruit, his limbs are just all apart, and he's all beat up, he has a black eye and stuff like that, and he's like, just kill me already, like, this is so bad, like, I know you guys don't like me, I know you guys are sick of me, so why even bother, why do you still keep me alive? And they don't even bother answering, they're just like, shut up, we have other things to talk about. And, Crocodile and Mihawk, they're focused on not really the One Piece because they have like different goals. I think Crocodile just wants money, and I'm not quite sure what their goals are exactly. But I do know that Buggy's like, "What's wrong with you guys?" He's trying to smooth talk him. This is where he gets like his monologue, and he's like thinking to himself right before he does his monologue. He's like, "What happened to me? Like this is not what I dreamed of." And he's going back to when he was in Logtown, Logtown with Shanks, and he's like right after Roger's execution or before, I'm not quite sure, but he's like, man, I really want. He was talking about his dreams, like he wants to get the One Piece, and he thought Shanks was the one to get it, but Shanks he had different goals, and that's why he didn't join Shanks' crew. And then now Shanks wants to get the One Piece. He's like, what the heck? He's going after my dreams as well. And Buggy just wants to get the One Piece. He wants to see what it is because he's never seen it before. He missed out when he was on Roger's crew, and he's just so intrigued by it. I mean, everybody is. Everybody's intrigued by the One Piece. But anyways, he goes into this giant monologue. He's like, you want wealth, you want fame, you want power. You guys are going for the small stuff. He's basically telling Crocodile and Mihawk, what is wrong with you guys? You're going all for the small stuff. Why don't you go for the grand, bigger picture? Why don't you follow your dreams and, get the One Piece? It kind of reminds you of like Mr. Deeds when they're in the auction room and everybody's like debating whether to sell their stocks or not. Adam Sandler's just like, what would you want to do as a child? And Buggy's doing the same exact thing. He's like trying to say to Crocodile and Mihawk, your younger self, what would you want to do? And it just doesn't work on them because Crocodile and Mihawk are too smart, or they just don't really listen to or care what Buggy has to say anymore. And Crocodile is just like, to obtain power, like to run a pirate crew is like running a business. He has that whole casino theme. He has this whole thinking about money and stuff like that. And Mihawk's also like, so are you suggesting that we fight Shanks, Luffy, and Blackbeard? And Buggy has really no comment to say. He's just like, man, I thought you guys would fall for my trap, but obviously it just doesn't work on them. I think it's really funny. So they eventually like let Buggy out of the chains and stuff like that, and Buggy then uses his limbs to. He's like, no, fine. I'm the one that's in charge of the crew. Well, he's not really in charge. He's the face of the crew, and he's what the people listen to. And so he's like, fine. You guys don't want to listen to me. I'll have my crew. I'll make sure my crew knows what's going to happen. And so he does. He gets this transponder snail, and he goes into the mic and he's like, listen, guys. Remember your dreams as a kid? And of course, this is going to work on his crew because his crew are a bunch of idiots that just follow Buggy around, which is hilarious. And he's like, listen, we are going to go find the One Piece. This is our time. This is our time to set in motion. Just how everybody else is trying to get the One Piece. He's like, this is our time too, and we are going to win. And Mihawk and Crocodile, they're just like, what is wrong with you? Like, we just beat the crap out of you, and yet you still do not understand how to stop. You don't know how to listen. And Buggy, he's scared. He's crying while he's saying this, and it's so funny. I kind of admire Buggy for this because he's like, he doesn't really expect. He's a character that isn't necessarily strong or smart, but he's smart in certain ways. He knows how to persuade people, and he knows how to get into people's minds. And like he even told Mihawk and Crocodile that just because we are going against stronger foes doesn't mean we have to fight them. Because he says that this is a race. They just have to get there faster. They just have to get there before the rest of them to find the One Piece. Doesn't mean they necessarily have to be stronger than them, but they have to find it faster. And it's pretty funny, Crocodile and Mihawk obviously even more pissed at him. And yeah, I mean, that's all we get to see what's going on in the Cross Guild. The crew is obviously cheering. They're like, yes, Buggy, we'll follow you anywhere. And that's then, the halfway point of the episode reaches. And that's all we see Cross Guild for today. Hopefully Buggy is safe. His fate is not really looking good for him. It's kind of sad, but Buggy's a gag character, so he'll be around for a while. We shift gears into focusing on the Revolutionary Army, which is nice to see. We haven't seen them in a while. And this is all about Sabo's return. So Sabo just came back from Lulusia. Yeah, Lulusia. And, it's been crazy in that kingdom. It just got destroyed, like completely gone, erased from the whole world, essentially, which is crazy. Anyways, so Sabo's returning. He brought some members from the kingdom back. Like, he saved a few civilians, and everybody's cheering Sabo on. Like, they missed him. They thought he was dead, and it's just, a happy moment for the Revolutionary Army. It's happy. Everybody's cheering, smiles, and tears of joy. And I just want to say one thing. Like, the Revolutionary Army, everyone looks so weird. Like, I know One Piece has weird character designs, but these are just over the top weird, and I think it's so funny. Like, every single character has a distinct, unique personality or physical trait that makes them just look so different from the rest of One Piece characters. And, it's just funny to see how creative Oda really is when he designs the characters. Like, I couldn't make these weird characters myself. I couldn't think of so many. There's like thousands of them, and they look weird. After Sabo catches up with the rest of the army, he then goes into private with Dragon and Ivankov. And he basically tells them, hey, this information is super secret. We can't tell anyone, because if you do, their life will be in danger just for knowing that information. So this is some big deal. This is some big news. And so they're listening to what Sabo's saying, and he's basically going to tell them all about what really happened at Mary Joa. And so the episode ends off there. It's kind of like a cliffhanger, like usual, to be continued. And so I'm excited for next episode. We'll learn more about what really happened, and it'd be cool to see it all animated. I'm excited. And yeah, overall, I give this episode a 7 out of 10 because, again, it wasn't as good as some other One Piece episodes. Like, it's not saying it's a bad episode, I'm just saying compared to the past couple episodes we've been seeing recently, it's just the animation's not on par with those episodes, which makes sense because there's really no need to go all out with like a informative episode. I would say, yeah, this could be informative. This is more like a comedy relief episode, you know. We've been fighting so much so recently, and it's just a nice break. And yeah, overall it's good, very funny. I laughed a lot with this episode. And yeah, I'm excited for next week. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. If you do, please subscribe. And also, thank you for all of those who gave me feedback. I really appreciate it. Anyways, I'm Kenny Sweeney, and have a good one.